crushing her legs.
Well, I'm sorry that I stole the show that night.
Yeah. Welcome, Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
Hey, that one was solid this time. Oh, come on.
Had to make it more squishy.
All right, Homer. That was like the perfect Homer Simpson burp right there. Are you drinking? Are your gout toe doing all right?
Doing all right.
What do you got there?
This is a Sippin' Pretty from Odell Brewing Company, fruited sour.
I like that one.
It's nice and light.
Yeah.
It might be kind of old because this was a pre-gout beer. So just trying to get through what I had before. I didn't realize drinking one a week would take so long.
I was drinking Lambrusco, but we talked so much before the podcast that my Lambrusco's gone and I'm all out of it. So I'm now drinking water because I do have a little bit of a gout flare, Mr. Commander Gouts. Thank you very much. I seriously, it's directed for me, which is a good thing. It's pop. I had Diet Pepsi. We had mixed drinks this weekend, and immediately it just started flaring up. And then it was good today. And I was like, I just want to have one glass because we had ordered pizza last night for Drake's birthday, my son's birthday. And I had the glass. And by the end of the day, toe started flaring up again. So mine's directly with pop. So I guess it's good that I'm not really going to be drinking much pop anymore. So
I mean, yeah, it's definitely good to know. I mean, at least you don't have to drink like a gallon of water a day like I do.
But that's what you're supposed to do, right?
I don't know. Am I supposed to pee this much? It's crazy. My kid's like, hey, you want to play with me? I'm like, yeah, but before I lay down, let me go pee.
I got to go pee.
And then
you're done playing and I got to pee again.
I got to go pee. No, it's not that frequent, but sometimes it's getting to be like every 45 minutes.
I got you.
God, I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of
I don't
peeing.
like being healthy.
Can I just skip everything and get to Depends and just pee myself? I mean, we have gout. I mean, that's what old people get. So you might as well wear Depends. I guess that's where we're going.
Can't wait.
All right. So this is episode 144. What do we have in store today? We have three things today.
We're going to talk about top 10 Commander cards from Commander Legends.
Top 10 Commander cards.
Perfect. Perfect. The definitive list of how everybody's going to use all of these cards.
Exactly. This is the list. No one else can have a different top 10 than us.
Well, I mean, they can, but they're just going to be wrong.
Wrong. Wrong.
Don't
okay.
say it like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you get what dirty. I was doing? Wrong. And then we are doing what we have been doing each week for the last month or so. Stump the Smith Savant. But
I mean, it's my favorite segment that we've done in a long time because I don't have to do any prep for it.
Yeah, I know. I have to figure this all out. But we are changing it up a little bit to make it more user-friendly, more viewer-friendly or listener-friendly, so you guys can play along at home. When we get to that, I'll talk to it, but we're basically going to be giving more clues so that people can figure out what clue they got it on, instead of Lowry trying to guess and only getting one clue or two clues a card. So that'll be changed, and then we have one spec to rule them all when we finish everything off with.
Theros.
Oh yeah, Theros. Thank you. We're kind of going through what's in standard, and then we'll start jumping around and hitting up different sets. But right now we're just kind of going through what's in standard and getting the cards that are going to be kind of easily available because they're still being played. Okay. Anything interesting happened with you this week, Larry?
I don't have COVID.
That's good. That was the scare
from last week.
We know others that have got it. I have my wife's cousin's husband is one of the 5%ers where he might not make it. This shit's real, guys.
You know, my situation was my sister ended up getting COVID. She's a nurse. She came over the day after Halloween, and she had just tested negative. They get tested regularly. And then my son got sick 48 hours essentially right after seeing with her over. We all wore masks. We were outside, distanced, you know, took the precautions. But my son did get sick. And so we're like, it's just the flu. You know, we're fine. We're seeing literally nobody. So we can trace who we are contacting. You know, My sister was the only one that was over. My mother-in-law comes over. And my wife works with one other person in the office. And so like, and other than going out grocery shopping, we don't do much. And so 1 week after my sister visited, she tested positive. And we're like, oh shit. Did little Lowry get it? And so my wife stayed home from work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We got tested. And then once my wife turned up negative, it was like, okay, she went back to work. Everybody was feeling pretty crappy. So we're thinking it was probably like cold, flu-ish, kind of whatever's going on. But even you know, that was a brush. It was just like, we're being pretty careful.
But even think of that though. You guys got still sick from something. Can right now easily be, it could have easily been COVID, you know, not even with your sister, because you guys got something. And who did you get that from? Where did you get it from? You guys have been kind of staying in your bubble pretty strictly.
Pretty strong, yeah.
And somehow you still got a different sickness, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same. We didn't have quite like that. None of us have gotten, like, he had the fever and everything too, right?
Yeah, he had
signs where it was like, holy crap.
We're like,
he might actually have it.
He's got, you know, he kind of woke up from his nap crying after an hour on that 48 hours, and he was kind of sweating through his shirt and his hair was wet. And I was like, oh, he's got a bit of a fever. Woke up, I got him some, lunch, and he kind of like didn't necessarily vomit, but just kind of like puked it all back up onto his plate.
Like little kids do. That's more of a common thing with kids.
You're just kind of like, and he's really sluggish, and he was sluggish for a couple days after that. And so he's a pretty hyper kid, you know, he's 3 years old. So when he was acting that kind of like, it was like, oh, you don't feel so good, buddy. Sorry about that. You know, taking care of him. And then once we heard the positive,
you're like
testing,
shit.
And then like
pretty soon after that, like, you guys started feeling crummy, or that just,
you know, the 6-month-old isn't sleeping so well right now. So I felt crummy for about 2 months at this point. So it's kind of hard to tell.
That's what tied in with us is that, you know, my wife works with, she's a radiation therapist, so she treats cancer patients. And where she is at she's St. Cloud, St. Michael. But anyways, long story longer, it's taken a while, but the staff has started to get it. And people just were going out left and right. People like somebody that her other boss lady that she works with, she ended up leaving midday because headache came on, started not feeling good. She left, found out the next day that she tested positive. So the mistake that Cindy, she called and she was like, hey, what should I do? Like, well, you had all your protective gear on and all. She did all the precautionary stuff. That's what they do all day. So like, you're fine. She went to go get tested just to make sure.
You're fine. Don't you worry about it.
Until you start showing signs, they are trying, because basically her work, they're between 3 cancer centers, and there's so many staff that was going down that they were going to have to shut them down to just one of what's left of the staff if any more were getting sick. And it's still at that point. We're still at that tipping point where if any more of the staff gets sick before the others that have gotten it come back, they might have to shut down. And that's hard because you have people that have cancer, and that's not waiting until COVID goes away. So anyways, instead of waiting on hold for 3 hours, which that's the wait time to get a quick COVID test here up in our area, she was like, well, I scheduled one, which was 3 days out in St. Cloud. She went and got it. Then they're like, yeah, it's a 3 to 7 day wait.
Yeah.
They literally waited 7 days to give us a freaking test back. So we went all last week. She still had to work. We were feeling crummy like you. We don't have a 6-month-old that's keeping us awake, but we have the little one that wakes up almost nightly just, I peed myself or whatever. And so that breaks your sleep up, and we just been dragging. But anyways, it came back negative, but still not out of the woods. It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
definitely exploding up here. We had the VA for my wife was 2 to 3 day wait, and we found out in 2 days for her. And then we technically for my son, they said 3 to 4 day wait, and they're like, if you didn't hear anything from us, that's a good thing. Because for both, I was told for my son, and Kirsten was told from the VA, like, if you don't hear from us, that's a good thing. We're just having to call so many people that we're just calling the positives at this point.
Gotcha.
And so we technically don't have a confirmed yes or no for my son at this point.
And he got tested how long ago?
My son was tested Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And it's Sunday right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I saw some crazy stat that was saying, now this is going to be for a lot of people that aren't in our listening area, people around the United States or around the world, whatever. But in the Twin Cities, if people are getting together in groups of 10 or more for Thanksgiving, if you're in St. Paul or Minneapolis, there's like a 40% chance that somebody has COVID. In our area, St. Cloud area, outer suburbs, it's like a 60% chance that somebody has COVID if you get in groups. So that's why we're not doing Thanksgiving.
No.
We're doing everything at home. This will be the first time that we don't go to, normally you're like me where it's like go to your mom's Thanksgiving and then you go to grandma and grandpa's Thanksgiving and then you go to your dad. There's like 3 things. Oh no, Kirsten's Thanksgiving, Kirsten's family. That's how
we've been
ours
lucky,
is
and we've
normally.
convinced everybody to break up the holiday into like different days now. But yeah, there's 3 or 4 holidays to go to every time.
Yeah. So this year is we're actually doing it more of
one
Thanksgiving and decorating for Christmas. So we're going to kind of make that more of like a special day to do Christmas stuff. I want to decorate now, but with Drake's birthday, we're trying to make that more special. So we're keeping.
Happy birthday, Drake.
Yeah. Tuesday turns 6.
Jeez.
It's weird.
It is weird.
It's really weird.
It definitely is weird. What do you get?
So I think that's
Did you give him magic cards?
I didn't. I didn't know what to do. I needed to give somebody or get a pack of cards. That's right. I don't give packs.
Oh, you were supposed to give me. I was supposed to send that up to you.
Son of a bitch. I'm just kidding. I didn't give you cards when Lowry turned this year because I didn't see you. But I'll be giving you some Commander Legends box that you pay for.
Once I pay for it.
Yeah, once you pay for it. Okay, let's move into our stuff here. We first have 2 new patrons. Two new patrons this week. Gwen Barnett and Ethan Happily. I think I'm saying that right? Yes. Ethan Happily.
Yes.
Welcome to the Meat Force.
Ba-dum.
Should I? Wait, I got it. Ready? Welcome to the Meat Force.
Box Chopper!
Oh, so happy I found that button.
I know you played that before the show, and it's still funny, even though this happened. That's from Ultimate Masters when they were first doing the box toppers.
2 years ago.
Of how awesome it was.
Because I was like, oh, we got our top 10. It's you, right? And then I played it. I'm like, no, it's me. There's something with you yelling. And then I was scrolling through our buttons. I was like, that's what it is. It's Lowry.
Box Chopper!
So that should be our Or maybe I'll get you to cut a new one for...
I always imagine when you play that's like me, but yelling like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Conan the Barbarian movie.
See, and I was thinking He-Man, so that works. Yeah. I dig it. I can see that. That's how
I was channeling that character.
But you can become a patron as well. $1 or more gets you in the Discord. And also, as I've mentioned multiple weeks, the Commander Smith Battle Box League is starting. Technically, it's in 2 weeks, but everybody's starting to get their boxes off of this weekend. We have
at least we're
about to get boxes this week, hopefully, knock on wood. But lots of people supposedly are getting some more because the actual release date is this next weekend. So we're going to have people starting as soon as this weekend. Again, prizes for that: first place, Scalding Tarn. You got second place, Wooded Foothills, Morphic Pools, Sea of Clouds, and then Prismatic Vista as all our giveaways. So that's just $1 gets you into the Discord, and for being a patron, $5 or more gets you Proxies of the Week. You can also see the Proxies of the Week on our Twitter page. Also, what the fuck were you doing this week with the not sharing with Adam?
I've done that 3 times now.
You did?
Yeah.
When were the other times? I missed those.
It's whenever you remember when you complained about me drinking cold coffee?
Yes. Oh, that's what
I started doing it after that. Going, you don't care about this.
I only caught the one this week, and I was like, when the fuck did this start happening again? And actually, I thought it was a beer, and it was at like 8 or 9 in the morning. I was like, why are you drinking it? Because I actually had typed it out. I was like, first off, why the fuck are we starting this again? And I was going to be like, second off, why are you drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning? And then I clicked on the picture. I was like, oh, it's a coffee. I got you.
Yeah, I'm just learning and exploring cold coffees. And I know you're not interested, but I want to talk.
Like not just cold coffees. It's got to be like the frappe. You know, where it's like really frou-frou-y.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I like.
You're like a cake eater. Yeah.
No, I don't like cake very much. So
I know. Nobody cupcakes at your wedding. I know.
Yeah, cupcakes, ice cream cake. Just don't like the frosting as much. I mean, I do, but I don't. I can like eat the frosting by itself. I'm one of those kids that
cream cheese frosting is the way to go.
Oh, that is delicious. Yes,
that stuff is really good. But they do the buttercream where they talk that up. And you're like, buttercream frosting's not very good. It's
thanks. That was what that was what our cupcakes were, asshole, at our wedding.
But yours were good, so it was probably
nice.
Probably something else.
Oh, dang it. I wish I would have had the...
How do you even remember the type of...
Because we ordered like 400 of them, and then during the wedding, they ran out, and we're like, what the fuck? We ordered so many. How did they run out? And then when we were packing up at the end of the night, we looked underneath the table, and there was 200 more sitting underneath the table.
Oh.
So we had 200 of those in our fridge and freezer for months.
You never shared that with me. I would have taken at least 50. I was so poor then.
Yeah, you would have. I'm sorry. If we would have brought them back to the hotel, because you did. Do you remember washing Cindy's legs in the hot tub at the hotel?
I don't remember much after that. I left my swim trunks in the pool.
What?
It was an extra pair. I still had mine on, but
it's like I didn't turn into that kind of party. What's going on? No, because remember it rained. It was so muddy and all that Cindy's legs were just black. And you're like, we got to the hotel, and you and I think Roman and Chris, our cousins, other cousins, and Jesse, and those guys were all. You guys are all in the pool, and you're like,
I remember
Cindy, come over here. And she like came and sat next to you in the hot tub, or her just to put her legs in there, and then you just washed them off all in the hot tub. Yeah, either in the hot tub or the pool, one of the two. That's Cindy's fond memory of the wedding night. Lowry washing her legs.
Well, I'm sorry that I stole the show that night.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Twitter. Jump on YouTube to... Oh, that should have been after. Dang it, did the order wrong. Free way to support the show. jump on YouTube, subscribe to our page. Videos are coming shortly, and that is a promise. Pinky swear. And then the last way to contact us or whatever, go to Gmail and you can send us stuff there. All right. What are we starting with, Larry? I think we start with what we always start with, stumping your monkey ass. Don't you think so? It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant.
So good. Act like that. All right.
Let's
do this.
Okay, so new rules to the game. So instead of letting Lowry try to figure it out and do guesses and all that fun stuff, Lowry's still going to get to guess. But what we're going to do is put a timer, and we're changing the point system around a little bit. Each clue I give, Lowry gets minus 5 points. Each wrong guess Lowry does, it's minus 10 points. I'm going to have roughly 20 to 30 seconds. We're going to test it out with 20 this time. If it feels too fast, let me know. We can change it to 30. But I'm going to give you a clue. You're going to get 20 seconds, and you can guess. You get one guess. If it's a yes answer, you don't lose any points. If it's a no answer, you lose 10 points there. After the 20 seconds, next clue starts. So we're just going to kind of rip through these.
30? 20 seconds is going to be really fast.
Okay, we can get 30. I just don't want it to be sitting very long. Okay, so we'll do 30 seconds. So again, I'm going to
2 minutes. 30 seconds is going to be really fast.
So, and he doesn't have to guess. You don't have to guess during that 30 seconds. If you want, just say, I have no clue. You don't have to say anything. You don't lose any points. But each one we move down, whatever.
I definitely care about the points. So,
so again, I'm going to read flavor text from a card, and Lowry's going to try to guess what it is. All right. So you ready to start this?
Yes.
All right. Flavor text. I write upon clean white parchment with a sharp quill and a blood of my students, divining their secrets. Shaku Endbringer. I think I'm saying that right. Shaku? Yeah. Endbringer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your counting starts now.
God damn it. Okay, this is an older card. Shaku Endbringer is from Mirage. That's a black card. So is this a black card?
Yes.
All right. So it's a quill. It'd be like a teacher.
That's your one guess for the turn, though?
Fuck you.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the good thing, though. The next clue was... Oh. Sweet. There's a bell. Did you hear the bell? No, you couldn't hear the bell.
I did not hear
no one's going to hear the bell because I don't have that synced up. Shoot. Okay. There's a bell. It was, like Grandma and Grandpa's clock. It did that. It was like bing, 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 bing. And I was like, oh, sweet. Okay. So my next clue was going to be giving you the color of the card. So you eliminated that, so you're not getting a -5 for that. So we will move down to the next clue. The next clue is the type. So it is an instant. And start 30 seconds.
All right. Is the set Mirage?
No.
All right, so it's probably Visions. Set as Visions.
You can't do 2 questions in one.
God. Fine.
On the next one you can. On the next one you can.
Probably Visions. Not alliances.
So I'm guessing you want to do the guess on the next clue of what it is, but I can give you a different clue to move to the next one. So I'm not going to tell you the set. That wasn't even the next one either. The next clue is the rarity. I'm going to give you 2 things here. With this one, the highest rarity it's ever been and the lowest rarity. If it only has one, I'll only give you the one. This one actually has 2 rarities.
Oh,
so
okay.
This card is made it as high as mythic and as low as rare. And I will start the counter now.
I I don't know. Okay, so that means that it's been reprinted. Initially in Visions, it was a rare and a reprint set.
Did you want to guess that Visions, or are you just kind of going?
Was the set Visions?
Yes.
Okay, so that's my one guess. So it's Visions, which is when it was a rare because Mythic Rarity didn't exist. Mythic Rarity started in Shards of Alara, so that means it was reprinted after that.
1. Okay. So I'll give you that full 30 seconds each time so you can kind of think things through a little bit longer.
Yeah, down. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next, let's see. So you got the set, so I don't need to talk about that one. So the next one is going to be, let's see. Do you want how many sets it's been in or casting costs? I'll give you a choice there.
Casting cost.
Casting cost. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Casting cost is 1. Starting timer.
No, that
1 black.
Threw me. 1 black. So black. It's a swamp. Visions.
Highest rarity is mythic. Lowest rarity is rare.
Man. I did not expect that. Can I get the flavor text again?
Yep.
Are you going to emphasize any words? Can you tell me that?
I should read that again. Okay, so I write upon clean white parchment with a sharp quill and the blood of my students, divining their secrets. Shaku Endbringer. Okay.
Jeez.
Let's see. Now I'm going to give you the other sets that it is in.
Okay.
All right. Here are the sets. It is in Visions, 6th edition, Eternal Masters, and Commander Legends. Starting the countdown now. 1 black instant from Visions, 6th edition, Eternal Masters, and Commander Legends.
God damn it. All right, Vampiric Tutor.
Ah, ding, 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 ding.
Should have known that. Yeah.
So my next thing was going to give you one more flavor text. I was going to give you the newer versions of the flavor text. And then the last clue was going to be reading what the card does. So, according to that, you only got 1 wrong guess. So minus 10 there. And then you went through 4 clues. So you got a 70.
I'm going to get high numbers here in this.
So
version.
You had 1,
but, I mean,
2,
like we were
3,
almost
4.
done.
4 clues.
Oh, boy. How come every time once I see it, I'm just like, God, why didn't I get this earlier?
So what did it, what trick? Well, once the sets?
Yeah.
Like how did you trigger?
Again, once I hear the sets that it's in, it seems like I'm able to get it.
I was impressed that you figured out Visions. I get where you got the Mirage because Shaku Endbringer is from Mirage. Isn't that big demon girl that's really bad?
It taps to exile a creature, can't attack unless there's no other creatures on the board. So yeah, I mean those 2 sets are
right there,
a block per se. So then, it's either one or the other. I shouldn't have even guessed, but the 1 black mana, I was like, what?
What did you have in mind before that? Did you have a track that you were going down before the 1 black mana came in?
I was thinking it was like some type of like creature that was like a teacher of the Shaku Endbringer type, like priest.
Yeah, but I gave you instant.
Yeah, but that's where I started.
Oh, gotcha. From the very beginning.
And then once it went to instant, I got a little lost. And for some reason, I was thinking Entomb, even though that's not the right set. And so once you told me that was the only 1 black mana instant that like I use at this point is Entomb.
Because we don't use the tutors as much.
Yeah, so I haven't thought about those cards for a while.
Do
Nice.
Do you think you would have got it if so? This was the newer one. It's true power is achieved through blood and sweat, but mostly blood. Would you have got? Would that be easier?
No. The Shaku Endbringer was the huge giveaway for me to at least start it.
Sweet. Cool. Well, how did you like that style of it? I know giving you only one guess, you wanted to guess more.
I think that was perfect timing. I think that was good pace.
And I think 30 seconds is good too, because I think 20 would have been way too fast. You would have just been formulating a thought, and then you'd been like, ding, ding, ding. All right, time to go to the next clue. So I think, and then I think even we're doing on-air production, but I liked giving you that time even after your guess. If you guessed right away, giving you that time to kind of work through it until your 30 seconds was all up. So I like it. Sweet. All right. What are we going to now? Going to top 10?
Top 10.
Top 10 Commander cards.
All right. So top 10 Commander cards, and we are doing Commander Legends, AV. The rules of this is we don't pick any legendary creatures, and in this case, planeswalkers, because those can be used for your commander, because we do those separately. These are just and no reprints, because obviously some Vampiric Tutor might be on this. So it's 10 new cards that have printed that we feel, and we do put this in order. We combine our lists, and we put together a top 10, what we think is the best. Well, the worst, not the worst, but the 10th down to the number 1.
Oh, it's definitely the worst.
The worst card in this set is second worst is. Should we just do it that way? Our countdown isn't a 10 to 1. It's the worst cards.
It'll be
the top 10 worst cards that are
cards you will never want to play with or see again. You'll probably give them to your baby nephew to chew on. Let's talk about these cards.
Nope, not probably any of these. Okay, so Lowry, why don't you start us off with number 10?
All right, 10. Number 10 is we're going to go with Sphinx of the Second Sun, 6 colorless, blue. Clearly a Sphinx. It's a 6/6 flyer, and at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you get an additional beginning phase after this phase.
There's a lot of phasing going on.
Yep. Just to clarify, pew. They should have probably just said this to begin with, but this is in parentheses. The beginning phase includes the untap, upkeep, and draw step.
Yeah, that's the important part. It's just...
So you get another one of those after your post-combat main phase.
Pretty ridiculous. You get to draw, you get to play stuff again, and then you end your turn. So this is just a good card. The hard part you were having a little bit with it is the 8 mana, which is a lot.
Seems like a lot.
But in this case, it's giving you a second turn almost. You know, you're not getting another attack, but the draw and all that stuff, 8 can kind of be a game changer, and that seems like a game changer type card.
Yeah, it once you put it in the thought of 8 mana to get like a extra half turn every turn, that seems pretty solid. Good.
And there's got to be some shenanigans messing with this, right? Can't you maybe do more than that? Like, we're kind of pre-talking about this. It doesn't work with multiple attacks, or does it work? No.
I don't know. I think so. But yeah, I think we were initially thinking so, but now that I'm rereading it, post-combat main phase, do the combat steps have like a second combat and a third combat? Like, are they distinguished like that?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it's just saying your main combat, so it's your post-combat main phase.
Your combat main. I guess I've never thought of the combat step
as a main phase.
Yeah, because it's your.
We're just gonna leave it as
combat step, second main phase.
We'll wait for Twitter to show us if this is done with multiple attacks and all that stuff.
Gods, let us know.
Are you giving hints away? You guys can put the clues together and figure that one out.
Like a changer, though, like just drawing another card, untapping your cards. Like if you have Paradox Haze is kind of a cool card because it gives you a second upkeep.
Yeah.
This could give you a third upkeep
and a draw.
And the draw.
Paradox doesn't give you the second draw, but it gives you the upkeep part.
Just the second upkeep trigger. So if you're making like an upkeep deck, that could be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a really fun card.
I'm glad it's not a commander.
Yeah,
which is nice. But can be cloned easily. Imagine that.
Ooh.
All right, our number 9 is Court of Bounty. This is 2 green enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. So at the very least, you are drawing a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. If you're the monarch, instead, you may put a creature or a land from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty crazy. And it's funny because this is our only court. All the courts are pretty interesting, but this one stands out hands down is the best because it's green. I mean, at the very least, you're able to drop another land if you have that land in your hand. But at the best, dropping creatures for free, that's pretty sweet. Of your
upkeep. Just think if you have the Sphinx out with this, and you're dropping 2 creatures per turn.
Whammy!
Yeah, I was thinking of this, like, it's cool that it's adding the Monarch, and I like that they're doing more with Monarch. I think we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And
that was one thing that, we did probably over a year ago where you talked about how we've mentioned that multiple times. We like Monarch and being able to have that in a lot of these cards is pretty awesome.
And so
at the very least, you're drawing a card off of it,
Yeah, it feels like a harder to remove, but less tricksy Elvish Piper.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's very powerful to put lands or creatures directly into play. Just cheating on mana is pretty good.
Yeah. All right, number 8.
We're going to go with Commander's Plate. This is an equipment for 1 mana to come out, 3 to equip to your commander, and 5 to equip to any creature. And then the equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity.
It's pretty crazy.
So you don't put this in your Kenrith deck, or your 5 color decks. That's the wrong way to go.
But your 0 to 3, I think 3 is kind of where you max out on that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd probably only go
to 2,
colorless 1 and 2.
Yeah, but 3, we talked precast Animar. You put this in Animar, Animar already has it, but it's like Animar colors giving you pro white and black.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid protection right there.
And so, and the +3/+3 is kind of negligible. You're running this for the protection,
right? But the 3/3 is not bad, and a 1-drop equipment. You don't get that very often. Good equipment. I mean, you have Basilisk Collar, which is nice. Those 1-drops are nice. And then if you can do some shenanigans where you're not having to do the equip cost, if you have the Hammer of Nazan or whatever out, it just attaches right away. This seems pretty solid for protection.
Yeah. And because even to think about this, like, normally when I think of like protection, I'm like, it's not going to be dealt damage and it's not going to be targeted. But really, it gives it a type of unblockability as well. And so if you're throwing this on your commander, it's going to be really hard to block it for your opponents as well. Yeah, I think the card is quite good when it comes to looking at all of those facets.
Yeah, I could totally see playing this with Yuriko, making Yuriko unblockable and getting through, you know, because it's a 2-color deck.
Have protection from white, red, and green.
2 of the removal stuff or damage stuff, which would be pretty nice. So
yeah.
Okay. Number 7 is War Room. That is the land that comes into play. You can tap it for, and I'm doing this off of my head because I can't find it. Oh, there it is. You can tap it for a colorless, or you can pay 3, tap it, pay life equal to the number of colors in your commander's color identity, draw a card. This again, I think from 0 to 3 is pretty solid. Again, probably stopping at 2, but 3 would probably still work. I mean, would you pay 3 life to draw a card?
It depends on my colors. Like, I don't think I'm running this in a blue or a green deck unless it's, 0, 1, or 2 colors. But if you're running like red, white, X, probably running this
for sure
if I'm going 3 colors. But this is, I think this is pretty important to those monocolored decks for sure. Because paying 3 and 1 life to draw a card on a colorless land, I think I'll be considering this card quite a bit.
For sure. All right, number 6.
It's going to be Keeper of the Accord. It just seems like such good value, but it's 3 colorless and a white for a 3/4 human soldier. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more creatures than you, create a 1/1 soldier creature token.
Solid.
Second paragraph. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more lands than you may search your library for a basic plains card, put it in the battlefield, tap, shuffle.
That's solid.
God, that's good.
It's good that it's at the end of their turn because, again, their turn, they're playing creatures, they're dropping land. So it gives you a better chance that you're going to be behind that person or 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 people. Making the 1/1 soldier token isn't amazing, but it gives you a little blocker. And then the land part is just, that's awesome. I like that a lot.
Yeah, being able to just go and get a land seems like if you can figure out how to, like, if you're going to Zuron Orb on that and just like sacrifice a land, gain 2 life, and go get another land because you definitely have more than me at this point. Like, that just seems really it just seems good, right?
Does it? This kills that pigeon that White had from one of the commander decks. I saw Zero was playing with it this week.
Cartographer's Hawk?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I love that card.
But this is better than that. By far better than that. Because you have to attack a person that has the more land than you and get through, and then you get to go get a land. This is just saying, hey, beginning of that person's end step, get a land, put it into play. This is so much better. This is a nice upgrade for White.
I agree. I think this is a great value card for White to get.
Number 5 is boring, but good. It's the Battle Lands. We're calling them the Battle Lands because they came in with Battle Bond. I think, isn't that what other people are calling it? I've just known them as Battle Bond.
That's what we called it before. We're not changing.
Yeah. So it's the other 5 Battle Lands. With Commander, if you aren't running, the duels, the reserve list duels, these are a good step down. The shocks are better than these, but these are right there. These are awesome because you're going to 99% of the time play these untapped.
Fetches, these are probably better than shocks.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That you don't shock yourself.
Yeah.
But they're solid. I mean, there isn't any more to say about them. They're just, now they have all 10 of them. These should go in a lot of decks, a lot of decks. And I would go for the full arts, but that's just me. Number 4, Lowry.
Chroma's Will, 3 colorless and a white for an instant. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. And then just kill your opponent. That's okay. You can. Section 1, creatures you control gain flying.
Section 1,
flying,
choice number 1.
And double strike until end of turn. Section 2, creatures you control gain lifelink, indestructible, protection from all colors until their end of turn.
God, just that second one is like the one you're going to choose 9 times out of 10 if you're doing this as a protection spell. But going on the attack with this, you win the game, like you just said. You have your meat force, and then you're like, all right, you can't touch them anymore. They're indestructible. They have lifelink. They have double strike, vigilance, and flying. So the flying doesn't even matter because they have protection from everything except for artifacts, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is just a silly card, a silly awesome card.
Like it didn't. I mean, it's nice that it's an instant because then you can do the indestructible,
right?
Protect from wrath, or if somebody's attacking you, you can, protection. Well, and the indestructible.
Honestly,
like the card's crazy.
That is why I put this card on. It was on both of our lists. That was the reason why I put it on my list. And then when you were talking, you're like, this card's just bonkers. And you brought up the first part. I was like, oh yeah, I was more just thinking as a protection spell, but as an attack on the other side of it, it is nuts. It's straight nuts.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Commander's in play, 4 mana, your creatures gain flying, vigilance, double strike, lifelink, indestructible, protection from all creatures. Let's just read it like that. That's crazy for 4 mana. Right?
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, it's game winner there. Like you said, if you have enough out, you kill everybody. And if you don't, you gain a crap ton of life.
Yeah.
Double strike with that? Oh, yeah. This is just...
It's a lot. It's a lot.
The only thing it's... I was going to say, the only thing is mything.
is mythic. It's a rare.
It's a rare. It's at $3 right now. This might be a spec target down the road here as more of this gets open. Okay, number 3 is Opposition Agent. This is one of more of the expensive cards in the set, but it's a really good way to shut down everybody from searching shit. But 2 and a black for Human Rogue, 3/2 with Flash. You're going to use this part once, and then the rest, no one's going to do anything for the rest of the game until it's killed. But you control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. While the opponent is searching their library, you may exile a card they find. You may play those cards as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though any color to cast them. So you basically play this once when somebody's searching, steal their search, take the card, play it, and then no one else is going to be doing any fetches or any type of tutoring through their library. Mm-hmm. So it's a dick card, but it's a good card.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. If this comes down, at least in our games, we're going to be like, okay, we got to kill this before we're doing anything else.
Because it shuts off, our fetches completely.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and we don't tutor, but I the fetches are decently important.
Right. And that sucks if you get a late game where you can't even use the fetch to tap for land. You're just like, well, this is just sitting here, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'll kill it to deal myself 1 damage, and then you get a land. Makes sense to me. All right,
awful.
What do you think our number 2 is? Wait, I should almost get a drum roll. Do we get a drum roll? No, that'd be for number 1.
This is the surprise.
Oh.
I'm thinking, okay, so we're gonna put Jeweled Lotus at number 2.
What? The most expensive card in the set?
Yeah, we talked about this a week or 2 ago. So it's 0 mana, come out, artifact. You tap it, sack it, add 3 mana of any one color, spend the mana to cast your commander.
Again, we kind of said the pros and cons of this one. I think it fits what we were saying with the earlier stuff. 0 to 3 color decks, this is pretty solid in. Or, gave other scenarios where if you have commanders that are targeted a lot, that you're having to play it a lot, good to play in those decks. High casting cost commanders can help you with paying for that colorless cost, get your commander out earlier. It's solid. I think there's a lot of people hating on it, and then there's a lot of people thinking it's broken. Then there's a lot this has so many emotions all over the board. And what we feel is it's a decent card, like a pretty damn good card.
Yeah, I think the price is what's playing into it. It's that whole, I think Toppers is too expensive, so it's overrated type thing. And I think...
You think what? What's too expensive?
Toppers Pizza.
Damn it.
It's the conversation that we've had. Right on.
That's what I was trying to get at. I wasn't on the right button thing. I was like, shit, get back to it.
So too many buttons. This card's good. It's clearly powerful. But the price is pretty outstanding. I think I'm seeing it at like 85 right now.
Yeah, so it's already dropped $75 since we first saw it, but I mean that's pre.
And I think this is fine at 40-50, not the 15 you want.
I was just gonna say, what about 15?
What about
15?
What about
Come
it? But
hey, if it hits 15, I'm coming back to these episodes, cutting it up, and just replaying that over and over again, just to. We are the champions, basically.
Great. Yes, this is the royal we. We're married, podcast married.
Yeah, you know what? This is I just did like a Arnold like. I got to thinking about this set. Isn't this something that I called like way back? Yeah. Not that it was just my own, or I was like, they need to have a commander set where we're opening packs and you can get this and all that, whatever. I think that's
we were talking about this right around Throne of Eldraine when I basically predicted the entire year and a half wrong, and you were pretty spot on. It was when we were talking about Secret Layer stuff when that just was starting.
That's right. Yeah. So that's okay. So now that we fast forwarded, you didn't like the idea of this in theory. Now that you've seen it out and about, how are you? You haven't opened any packs yet, so you haven't been butthurt before you've opened packs, or it's static. Maybe you get 3 Jeweled Lotuses and you're like, this is the best thing they've ever done. But so far, from what you've seen, and that this is a thing, commander product that's opening packs. What do you think?
I've only ever bought 1 box, and I bought 2 draft boxes and 2 collector's boxes.
Holy shit. You've never bought a collector's box.
I've never bought a
crazy
collector's
thing.
Box.
And you got 2?
2. Yeah,
2.
So I'm pretty
You're a
hype
little
on
excited.
This set. I love a ton of the cards.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that you're getting, I think they're saying 2 legends per pack.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think through
and
one
that's
box,
the collector boosters are going to be crazy. Yeah. Well, we're starting to see the list from Discord members, and it's just, I think it was Guy was like, here's my legendaries, and it was like freaking
there's a ton of them,
30 or 40 of them. I'm like, holy, I think he said he had over 40 legendaries out of his box.
And then you have
it's just a draft booster.
2 of the 4 people that I think have posted got Mana Drain at this point.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So you got
no one with the Jeweled Lotus. I haven't seen that yet.
No, I haven't seen that yet. I've seen it pop up on like the EDH Facebook groups and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Drum roll.
All right. Number 1 is Hull Breacher.
That's fucking nuts.
2 and a blue 3/2 Merfolk Pirate. It has flash. If an opponent would draw a card except for the first one, they would draw each of their draw steps.
Totally
it has
fucking
flash.
missed that. Jesus. Sorry. Reread.
If an opponent would draw a card except for the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, instead, you create a treasure token. Talk about shutting them down. I get both the shutdown cards that I was talking about, Opposition Agent, but this is just, it's crazy because I wasn't thinking it was as bad when we were talking back and forth and you're like, no, this, and this. And I was like, oh yeah. I was thinking everybody got to at least draw their 1 card.
Yeah.
If it's not your turn and you're past your draw phase and you try to draw a card or everybody draws a card, you don't get to draw that. And that person who has Hull Breacher gets a treasure token.
So if somebody windfalls, you don't get to draw any cards. And they definitely just created like 15, 20 treasure tokens.
Yeah.
Like, this card is fucking insane.
Now, you had kind of mentioned in text, do you think it's actually borderline could get banned?
I don't like this effect at all. Even though we talked about like Narset, Parter of Veils from not Dominaria,
War of the Spark.
Leovold was a super obnoxious,
oppressive.
Yeah. And so I think this card would be perfectly fine if it didn't stop you from drawing the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like any extra card beyond your draw step draw, you get treasure tokens. Perfectly fine cards. It's still really powerful. We've seen that with Smothering Tithe. Just think if Smothering Tithe shut down
the draw if they didn't pay the 2.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, that would be
that's what's going on here. This card is crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody runs Smothering Tithe and you just kind of let it go. But now you're just like, okay.
But here's the question with this. If you are playing this card, do you, with the flash ability, hold on for somebody's big draw or windfall effect or something like that? Or are you playing this right away and making it so people aren't, they're dealing with the problem, or you're getting treasure tokens if they're drawing?
If you can protect it in any way, I would drop it. Kind of similar to Opposition to Ancient. Like you're making everybody play at the base level of Magic, and then you get to do whatever you want.
Right.
You're still drawing extra cards. You're still searching for extra cards. Everybody else has to play super fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can hold on to it for the tricksiness of it, but I think
you drop windfall.
Yeah, but like normally you're just
you're waiting for somebody.
I think you're setting this up too. So
yeah. Does this fit in? You know how Smothering Tithe, you have a white deck, Smothering Tithe is in there. If you have a blue deck, even if it doesn't match with like doing windfall effects or drawing, making other people, does it just go in every blue deck then?
This is in every blue deck. In my mind, blue is pretty bad at ramp, and this is amazing ramp.
Mm-hmm.
To me, right?
Yep. Nope, I agree. But I was just wondering, because you hate it so much because it's so good, would you put it in your blue decks? Yes?
Like, do you just want me to feel bad? Is that what you're asking? Is that what you want?
I hate me.
This is yeah, I mean, there isn't a whole ton to say about it without it just sounding real ridiculous at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this card's probably, this is Rhystic Study level good.
Yeah.
This is Cyclonic Rift level good.
I mean, if you're, there's Cyclonic Rift. If you're kicking it, a lot of times you're winning the game or at least eliminating something. This, if you combo it with your windfall, then you're probably winning the game. But if you're not, like if it's just you're playing this and then people are having to deal with it, I think it's fair, kind of. But if you're the one that's being tricksy with it.
Well, if you're running like like Anvil of Bogarden, where it's like everybody draws an extra card and then you discard a card. So they draw their one card, you make a treasure token, and they got to discard a card. Or just your Howling Mine effects. Like, they draw a card, you make a treasure token. You're not normally running those in blue decks, but I think stopping people from drawing cards, just having it out there, is just as good as ramping like crazy.
Right.
So like
it's something that they're focused. The cool thing is this will probably go in Bruvac. You have a bit of draw each turn. Because I'm not drawing, I'm having them mill, but it draws people's attention to that card, and it's not that dangerous, like as in it's going to kill somebody. But if people are worried of losing their hand and not drawing any cards or not being able to draw their extra cards, so your focus is going to be on this, not necessarily killing the player unless you have no answer to kill a 3/2 creature. So at the very least, it's taking the person's attention to something that's really good and will probably benefit you getting treasure tokens before it gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just look at it and I go, this kills easily half my decks. Like, it just comes on board and just going, Oh, I don't. If you don't have an answer in hand, you can't go draw for one.
Yeah.
Right? You're just playing, just drawing once. Still can't do anything about it. All right.
So at that point, what I'm trying to get at is like
full focused on that player, trying to get rid of him.
Either get rid of the player or get rid of that. If you don't have the answer, you're going to kill that player. So it could potentially turn you into the arch enemy, and everybody just comes at you because they have no answer. But most of the time, people have an answer when there's a creature out if it's really affecting the board. So at least it takes away from that, and hopefully you have some tricks to draw your tokens in the meantime, get tokens from it.
Most of the people will not help me. They're like, this is very much hindering Lowry. We will allow this.
I will allow it.
And I will actually try and draw extra cards to give you treasure tokens to defeat Lowry quicker. That's generally the conversation.
I dig it. That's always, when in doubt, attack a Smith named Lowry. That's my motto.
That doesn't count. Doesn't count from your mouth.
Okay, so that is our top 10. Top
10 Commander cards.
Like I start saying the button before the button happens.
All right, now we get into
one
spec
to rule them all.
I should switch it up with Gandalf in there too.
You can.
Is this one too long though?
In the common tongue, it says.
I don't know. I kind of dig that. I talked over it. Spec.
To fight them. One
spec.
bring them all. And in the darkness, find them.
I don't know. I kind of dig that one more. I like how fast the other one is, but 3 specs. Spec. All right, how this works is we are going through different sets, picking one card out that we feel you could put all the chips on, and 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, this spec will make you money. It'll be more expensive than when you purchased it. So I don't remember who went first last week, but why don't you go first this week,
I was gonna
Lowry?
say you should go first this week.
So this week we are doing Theros Beyond Death, and or you want me to go first? I can if
I didn't
need a little more time.
Actually, look at any of this. All right.
Okay,
I can do it.
I'll go first.
I can do it. No, I want to do it now.
Ahead. Go.
Don't tell me what to do.
Spec.
All right. So, I have talked about this card in just about every deck, I feel like, since it was printed. Card's crazy. Shadow Spear. 1 colorless, equip for 2. And it is equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has trample and lifelink. And then you can pay 1. Permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And it does not need to be equipped to do that effect. This card does a shit ton.
Yes.
So
1, it's a easy drop as a 1.
Yeah.
It's an easy equip as a 2. Gives you your lifelink. Makes it so your creature can get through if you're playing big creatures. And like you said, it doesn't have to be equipped to do the remove the hexproof and indestructible from people. That's
so somebody's playing Heroic Intervention. You're just like, pay 1, get rid of it.
Remove it all. Yeah. Question mark?
Can you? Do you want to give them all indestructible and hexproof again? Okay, I'll pay 1 again. Is that how this works?
This is we're coming up almost on a year, right? When Theros, or about a year.
Yeah, it came out last January. So
and it's already in 12,000 EDH rec decks.
Yeah, and not special anything. It's 550. And this, to me, this is level. This is like easy $15, $20 card.
Oh, but man, I feel like you go for the full art on this.
Sure,
don't you?
sure. I'm just saying base level.
Just going the base. Because here's the one problem I will say. I think this card gets printed in a lot of Commander product because it's so good. And it's already in that many decks.
That's
getting a different.
And I know that I've been super wrong, but they don't print super good equipment in the Commander products.
But
this would be by far the best equipment that they print.
But they do not Swift boots.
Lightning Greaves?
Lightning Greaves, and that's a $5 to $6 card, which this is that card right now.
But that's been around.
I know
forever.
you're saying
Like,
you're saying that once it's going to go up. But do you think at $12, $13 as a full art is a good option for this?
Yeah. I mean, I think every option of these are pretty good. And so, but I think the card is.
You think at the $5 or $5.50 price, it's at least a double, if not a triple up, right? You're saying 15 probably?
Yeah. So here, this might sound ridiculous, but I think this card is as good as like Umezawa's Jit, which is a crazy good equipment.
Yeah, I'm like, Jit. I'm like, which one would I rather have? I really like Jit. I feel like Jit I've been done dirty with Jit. I got done dirty by you with Jit last week.
Yeah. And so like I think
it's up there.
But like it's comparable. The equipment that give lifelink aren't like it's Basilisk Collar, Shadow Spear, and then like the next best one is like
that Lodestone Warhammer.
Yeah,
or whatever
Loxodon
it is,
Warhammer. Plus 3/+0 trample lifelink. And that card's just not. I mean, it used to be a highly played card in Commander, and it's just not good anymore. Mm-hmm. And this, I love Basilisk Collar. That was my number one equipment when we did our Fave 5s, or maybe it was my number 2.
Hey, number 2.
But I think I picked this over that for the most part, unless I'm a Death Touch.
I think you had mentioned that at that time too.
Yeah, I mean, this is better than some of the swords, if not most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on, in a vacuum, it's better. The green blue mill one's better in your Bruvac deck. Clearly situationally it's better. But Shadow Spear in a vacuum is just so good. It's crazy.
Yeah, that removal of hexproof and indestructible. The removal of indestructible is we talked about it when this card was released or spoiled, that's a rare thing too. We have that one green enchantment that does that. There's just not a lot of cards out there. This can go in every deck because it's an artifact. Mm-hmm. So that just makes it amazing. And a lot of times you're dealing with targeted stuff, and a lot of things have hexproof or indestructible. That's good in itself. And then you get the lifelink added. There's just so much that's going on with this card. I agree. I like your pick. So, but if you were to put all your chips in on one, would you go in on buying 10 and $5.50 ones, $5.50 ones, or would you go in and buy 4 or 5 of the full art ones?
How
where
much
do you think
are the full art foils?
They're at $36.
I'd probably just pick up a couple of those.
Yeah, you're probably maybe right with that.
2, 3. Depends on how rich I am.
Well, I was giving you the option of 10 of the $5.50, so you're working with about $50, $60. So get you 2 of the full art foils, or 3 or 4 of the full arts non-foil, or 10 of the others. I think you're probably right. I'd go either the full arts or the foil.
Yeah, I think full art foils, those tend to just like seem to be what everybody wants, and when they're highly wanted can go to ridiculous prices.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, my one spec to rule them all is Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
Yeah.
This is the 2 and a green for a 2/4 nymph enchantment creature. So you can search for this with either creature stuff or enchantment stuff. But the cool stuff is with this is you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types. So it has the chromatic lantern effect with the...
No. It has the... because it turns them into...
Oh, it's every land... Yeah.
To that type.
Because chromatic is just you can tap land for any color. Yeah. This turns it, yeah.
So if you got like a Cabal Coffers, that works with this.
Then all swamps are that. Where it doesn't do it the other way with chromatic lantern.
No, yeah.
But then you have the additional land of Oracle of Moldiah and all those extra land drop effects. This card is in 16,000 EDH rec decks. And that's a green card. That's a lot for like a green, if this is an artifact in that much, it'd be crazy. My focus on this is the full art non-foils. We're not going with the foils because they're at $73.
Yeah, see, that's that part I was talking about. Like,
but with the Shadow Sphere
are willing to really pay crazy money for the full art foils. Mm-hmm. So I think you have a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean,
with that,
these at one point, the full art foils were at $44, $43. So right around that price of Shadow Sphere's full art foils, $10 more. Yeah. And then just recently jumped up to the 70s. But that's, like I said, I think the ceiling on those, this is something that could be, this could be in Commander products, but it's probably going to be like every 5, 6, 7 years. It's going to be a long time in between because you have that enchantment creature part to it. So it has to kind of fit with your gods, with your Theros and all that stuff. But the full art non-foils are at 20, so that's pretty high, but I think the full arts can get up there. I mean,
what is the not like the regular
14?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my other point. Promo foils are at 14. Regular non-foils are at 14. Promo non-foils are at 14. So why not get the promo foils? So that was either option. Yep. You can go with the promo foils at 14 or the full art non-foils at 20. I lean towards the full art stuff because that's what I'm a sucker for. But yeah, I think these suckers could get the promo foils. I think could probably reach 30, and the full arts could probably get over, I'd say easily 40. So double up on both of them.
The card's good. I mean, it's going to work in a lot. It works with Valakut by turning all your lands mountains. Just anything that cares about a type, a land type, like it just works with that. So,
or multiple land drop stuff. So your Gitrogs and stuff that are playing landfall decks. You're not even focused on the land color, or land type.
Yeah.
There's two parts to this.
And it works in just your 5 color decks in general, just with your fixing too. So it's very flexible in what it's needed for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be, it's a damn good card. Again, if you look at those cards that allow you to drop that extra land, like Wayward Swordtooth is like a $12 card right now. Exploration was just reprinted and it's $15. Azusa was just reprinted and that's like $7-8 in standard. Oracle of Moldiah is still like a $20 card after the Jumpstart reprint. Mm-hmm. Those are basically the cards that allow you to do extra land drops. Burgeoning's over $20.
Yeah,
like that. It's going to be over $20.
Yeah, and those are just for non-foils that you're talking about.
Yep.
Or non-special art, not showcase or full art stuff. One thing I did notice going through Theros, there's a lot of good cards in that.
Yeah.
Like, this was kind of tough. I didn't even realize, Euro full art, non-foil, or is that foil? No, it's foil. Okay, never mind. It's at $200. That's insane.
Nuts. The card is
That's
crazy.
Insane. That's crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of we could have done Nyx Bloom Ancient's a good one. Thassa seems to be used a lot. There's just so many that are good in this. Nyx Bloom, yeah. I had Nyx Lotus as well. I thought was. Did you like Nyx Lotus?
I have not fitted into any of my monocolor decks at this point. Like I coming into play tapped really hurts it.
I have put it in Bruvac, and it's actually in my by 2-color Daryl deck, which we will be talking about soon.
Yeah, sometime.
Now the Commander Legends is done here,
yeah,
so
I guess I'll try and have a deck ready next week. Ugh.
I thought yours was done.
Yeah, Glenn is done. I'm talking about for a Commander Legends.
Oh, you want to do a Commander Legends?
Yeah. I'm making
gotcha.
Becca.
You want to do it? Oh, Becca, old Becca.
Yeah, stopping the turn should be cool. Cool interactions there.
Sweet. All right. Well, that should do it for this week. Is there anything else you want to talk about? No? You good? Yep. Good? All right.
Thanks for answering for me.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Take care.